Saudi Arabia, the new home of the best footballers in the world. We were all stunned when Cristiano Ronaldo left Manchester United and the European football scene to go to Saudi Arabia. I mean, we've never heard of any Saudi team or their league in general, so why one of the best footballers of all time would go play there? Is it all about the money, or is there something more to the story? Barcelona, Real Madrid and Juventus were some of the desired destinations of any footballer in the world. Whether it is a young and prospective player eager to take over the football world or a legendary veteran with just a couple of good years left in the tank, they were all dreaming of joining some of the greatest football clubs in Europe. Things are starting to change, and fast. We're all aware that football is a global game and the entire world is into it. But what is currently happening in the Middle East is causing tectonic disturbances in the football world. Before we dive deep and see what the big plan of the Saudi billionaires is and how and why they are taking over the football world, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like the video and follow us on Instagram. The big story of this summer transfer window has been the rise of the Saudi Pro League as a hot destination looking to attract the biggest stars in European football. Bankrolled by a $620 billion public investment fund taking the football market by storm. We are all stunned seeing Cristiano Ronaldo leave Manchester United and the European football scene to move to Al Nassr at the beginning of the year. The Saudi giant offered him a 2-year deal worth €200 million annually, which made Ronaldo the highest paid football player ever. Ronaldo was not the first football star to move to Saudi Arabia, but being a trendsetter as he is, he made Saudi Arabia the new hotspot for every player. He was welcomed at Al Nassr as a member of the royal family, and besides money, he got everything he wanted, even if that did not obey with the local laws. So the question is, why this Middle East country invests so much in football? Well, the answer is simple. They have money, and they want to be on top of the world when it comes to business. Football is more than just a sport for decades now, and Saudi Arabia can take the game even to a higher level. Saudi Arabia aims to increase the revenue from the Football League and take it to the top 10 leagues in the world. Saudi clubs are not bound by any rules on spending. This means they can offer high salaries that could lure players to the Middle East, and that is precisely what they are doing. A news agency, SPA, reported that Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has launched a privatization plan mainly focusing on football clubs. This plan allows companies and development agencies to invest in clubs or take over. The Saudi League's 4 biggest clubs, Al Ittihad and Al Ahly of Jeddah and Riyadh's Al Hilal and Al Nassr, were recently taken over by the fund, marking the first steps towards privatization. This development is potentially even more significant than the arrival of famous foreign players and coaches. They plan to increase the revenue generated from the league. By 2030, the revenue must go up to $480 million from $120 million. Other than this, they also expect the market value to rise to more than $2.1 billion. Saudi Arabia has also made a bid to host the FIFA World Cup 2030. With Qatar hosting the 2022 edition, Saudi also looks to get into the history books. The target is for the quartet of Saudi clubs to join other global brands like Manchester United, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich in the top 20 rankings of the Deloitte Money League, which lists the clubs that generate the most revenue in the world. It may sound far-fetched, but significant investment in sports can bring rapid change. That was demonstrated in shocking clarity in June when Saudi money brought seismic changes in golf as the PIF-financed LIV Golf Series merged with the long-established and prestigious PGA Tour. With the league attracting top players, it looks like the Middle East nation is growing rapidly in football. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman sees sport as a vital part of their overall strategy to change the country's international political and economic standing. Football has been the most popular sport in the Middle East, and Saudi Arabia has been the most successful nation in the region. The national team has 6 world appearances and 2 Asian Cups, while several of its club sides have excelled in the Asian Champions League. They stunned the entire world when they defeated Argentina in the opening round of the World Cup last year in Qatar. Football is even more popular after that sensational result, and bringing in Ronaldo came at the right moment. He is one of the most popular people on Instagram, with almost 600 million followers. His impact was immediate, as Al Nassr's Instagram following jumped from under 1 million to almost 15 million. Broadcast rights to the league were also reportedly sold to 36 overseas territories. The development of the league also benefits the players from the Arab world. Egyptian internationals Ahmed Hagazi and Tarek Ahmed played vital roles as Al Ittihad became league champions in May. With the arrival of many football superstars, the Saudi League will also be an attractive destination for the best Arabic players. Whether we like what is going on, we must agree that Saudi Arabia's plan works. The players have a chance to earn much more than the wealthiest European clubs can offer. Many of those are owned by families from the Middle East, and the Saudis decided not to invest their money in the best European clubs, but to bring the best players into their own league. Another player that made the headlines with his move to Saudi Arabia is Karim Benzema. The Frenchman finally accepted an astronomical offer from the Saudi Arabian club Al Ittihad, making him the second highest paid player on the planet, behind only his former Real Madrid teammate Cristiano Ronaldo. Benzema will be paid €100 million per season, plus a bonus of €20 million to work as an ambassador for the 2030 World Cup, which Saudi Arabia is bidding to host. So, the total amount that the former Real Madrid player will earn will be no less than €220 million, and it could reach €320 million. Bearing in mind that at Real Madrid, where he spent 14 seasons, he earned €28 million gross per season. The difference is quite substantial. To this, we must also add the fact that in Saudi Arabia there is no income tax, so he will have very important tax advantages. In other words, if we consider what he received at Madrid in net figures to be worth around €14 million, Karim Benzema will receive €86 million net more per season, not counting the €20 million bonus. The Frenchman will find himself with a team that has just won the Arab League, beating Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr and Al Hilal, who had just played against Real Madrid and Benzema in the final of the Club World Cup 6 months ago. This Jeddah-based team has some familiar faces and intriguing facts to take into account. The Saudi team is coached by Nuno Espirito Santo, the former Valencia coach. The Santo Tome native made the move to Arab football after his Premier League adventure with Tottenham Hotspur and Wolverhampton came to a premature end. They also boast in their ranks the league's top scorer, Abderrazak Hamdallah, who scored 21 goals and played a part in Morocco's historic fourth-place finish at the World Cup in Qatar. Benzema is not the only international signing of Al Ittihad. Chelsea and France midfielder N'Golo Kante has agreed to sign with the team when his contract with the London team ends this summer. Kante has struggled with injuries and made 9 appearances for Chelsea during the 2022-23 campaign. The 2018 FIFA World Cup winner is set to earn around €80 million per year throughout his 4-year deal with Al Ittihad. Kalidou Koulibaly is another Chelsea player who will move to Saudi Arabia next season. The Blues paid Napoli around €40 million for the defender, and he is leaving Stamford Bridge after only 1 year to join Al Hilal for €20 million per season. Koulibaly will play alongside Ruben Neves. Premier League side Wolverhampton Wanderers received a club record fee of €60 million for the transfer of their captain. These are just a handful of names that have moved from the European stadiums to the Middle East heat. And if you think that these Saudi clubs will stop anytime soon, you are terribly wrong. One major deal that fell apart was Al Hilal's offer to Leo Messi, worth double of what Cristiano Ronaldo was paid in Al Nassr. Messi is about to leave PSG, but he turned down a mind-blowing €400 million offer by the Saudi team and will join Inter Milan side from the MLS League instead. If Messi decided to follow in the footsteps of Cristiano Ronaldo, Saudi Arabia would have become the spotlight of the football world. Messi is not the only big name that turned down an offer from the Saudi clubs. Luka Modric, the 2018 Ballon d'Or winner, rejected a 3-year $200 million deal to play in Saudi Arabia and will remain in Real Madrid for another season. Modric is one of the world's greatest midfielders and, despite being tempted by the SPL, becomes another big player to turn down a move to the Gulf. Following the end of his loan spell at Inter, Romelu Lukaku received an offer from Saudi Arabia but has rejected the approach, instead pushing for a permanent move to the Italian club, where he played 25 times last season and scored 10 goals. Jose Mourinho received an offer from Al Ahly and reportedly met with the club's president, but the Portuguese coach will remain with Roma for another season after leading them to the Europa League final. Liverpool legend Steven Gerrard looked all but set to join Al Ettifaq. He even paid a visit to the club's facilities in Dammam and toured the eastern Saudi city before returning home to announce he would not be signing a contract to coach the Saudi Pro League side as things stand. However, the Saudi billionaires will not be denied their goal to make their country a real football powerhouse, as there are plenty of star players who are waiting to sign their deals in this Middle East country. Neymar has been injured for most of the season, and reports say that Brazil international could be on the move away from Paris this summer, with Al Hilal one of the sides interested in signing him. After a stellar World Cup campaign in which Hakim Ziyech led Morocco to the first semi-final for an African nation, he looks set for a return to the Middle East, this time to team up with Ronaldo, whom his side has eliminated in the quarterfinals in Qatar. The 30-year-old is set to join Al Nassr after a less than impressive 3-year spell at Chelsea. Firmino is reported to be in advanced talks to join Al Ahly as a free agent once his Liverpool contract expires at the end of the month. The Brazilian forward spent 8 seasons at Anfield, scoring 110 goals in 361 games, and has been a target of Barcelona. We're about to see if these transfers will go through, but even if they don't, we are all aware that the football map is changing and we have a new big player on it.